with Verb Z.
You there, mate? I'm not getting anything from you, I'm just getting background noise. All I can hear is your speakers coming through, nothing else. I've got nothing on you, mate. Sounds like clicking, and I can hear the supercars running in the background.
You got me now, mate?
Loud and clear, Jim.
Okay, I'm going to play the intro.
Alrighty, I'll just jump on Twitch for now. Clicking, and I can hear the supercars running in the background.
Good morning, good evening everyone, and welcome to Racing Leagues live from Adelaide Parkland Circuit. With myself, Steve O'Connor, in the booth, and joining me today is co-commentator Troy Allen.
Yeah, good morning, good evening, Steve, and how are we today?
Very good, and a happy new year to everybody.
Yeah, very much so. It's a new year and a whole new season, a whole new group of cars too, and we've got quite a good field here as well tonight.
Yeah, exactly. We've got one of our biggest fields ever for the pre-season event. This is in the Oceania V8 Supercars Championship.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we're getting an exceptional turnout here tonight. I mean, 17 cars, I think it was the last counted on the grid, and that's exceptional.
Well, yeah, Troy, I'm just looking at the live time, and we've got 19 cars listed at the minute, so we're almost heading towards full grids, which is awesome to see.
Oh, that's sensational. I mean, I remember back when we started this league, when I started with you guys, we were, 8, 9, maybe 10 cars, and to have 19 cars on grid, we're only, I think, 6 cars away from a full grid.
Exactly, we're almost there. Yeah, and it's good to see the new cars out finally. So we've got the Nissan, the Ford Falcon FG, which will be replaced later in the season with the FGX. We have the Holden Commodore VE and the Volvo and the Mercedes. Unfortunately, we don't have any Mercedes with us today for the looks of things, but never mind.
I'll have to correct you there, Steve. It's actually the VF, not the VE.
Thanks for that, Troy. That's what we're there for.
I'll pick the ball up where you drop it, mate.
Good man, just what we need. So So joined us live in the qualifying session. At the minute we have Brett Clark in the Norton Nissan sitting on a 119.5, closely followed by Gavin Cox in third on a 19.574. There's a .025 between first and second, and unbelievably in third place David Kinnaman is now in a 119.609, which is 0.059 seconds to the lead. So the top three are covered by less than a tenth.
And that's one thing I have noticed with this new cars coming onto the grid. The gap between the top 10 even is dramatically reduced, and you can see a lot of the other guys that were sort of down there, like Roger Clark. He's now right up there with the top guys, and he's only at most half a second at his worst off the pace.
Yeah.
Sorry there, Troy. Yeah, the pace at the front is very, very close, which is great to see and exactly what we wanted. The one thing I have noticed, Troy, with the new cars is the field seems to have closed right up. So the time differences aren't as great as they were with the 2012 cars.
Oh, definitely not, Stephen. That's what I was alluding to. You see the guys like Roger Clark, for example. I've seen in a lot of the testing and whatnot. He's been only half a second off the pace.
Yep, thank you.
So that's just the admin channel bleeding through under the comms there. Just a few issues with people with high pings slowing everybody else down.
Yeah, I'll probably be one of them as well.
We've got a Mercedes join us finally. It'll be interesting to see what the Mercedes is like on track. We haven't seen anyone out in one as yet.
No, we haven't, and it'll be interesting to see what they actually come up with.
Yeah, as we can see, Mercedes out on track now on a very slow warm-up lap from the looks of things.
Well, who have we actually got running the Mercedes tonight, Steve?
I'm not quite sure if they've come in as your name, which is handy.
Yeah, we've seen him float around here and there, and he's obviously decided to make an appearance in this, and if we could get a driver name to really help the com box out.
Yeah, just a bit, mate, just a bit, but hey, what can we do at this point in his pre-season tests? We're up to 20 cars now, that's 20 on track, excellent to see.
Geez, doesn't it make you want to actually get out of this box and jump on the track yourself, Steve?
I know, it does. So just on screen now we've got David Kinnaman, who has jumped to first position, and that's 0.040 seconds in front of Brett Clark now. He's in the Dave's moved teams this year to 555 Racing to drive alongside Gavin Cox. That makes for an interesting combination for the year. What do you think, Troy?
Yeah, I was just about to make mention of that. It's something I noticed in the newspaper the other week that Dave had made the change, and it's going to be interesting to see multiple effects there. What kind of advancement Dave can make now with such a superior driver as Gavin to help him along with his car setup and racecraft, and also interesting to see how Ian copes now without Dave there to help him throughout the race meetings.
Yeah, from my experience with Ian will be just fine. I think Ian's actually on the lookout for a fast teammate as well. Not quite sure what happened there, but Dave's obviously jumped the gun and joined Gav in the team. So again, it's one of these things. It'd be interesting to see how two drivers of a similar pace get on together, because they'll be pushing each other, and who gets precedence, what happens when they're on track, etc. So it'll be interesting to see.
I think really it'll just come down to the simple fact is whoever's got track position has pit priority.
Well, you'd like to think that, wouldn't you? But very often that's not how it works sometimes. So, well, let's see what happens as the season goes on with these two. But again, a very, very fast team overall. And I think there'll be finally some competition for SRT, who've taken out the last three V8 Championships drivers and teams. So it'll be good to see something else up front.
Yeah, definitely will be. And just out of curiosity, we haven't got a listing of the drivers for SRT this season. I mean, it was a 2-car team, wasn't it?
Yes, 2-car team. Rob Herbert in the number 1 Nissan, and Dan Stevens will be in the 33 Nissan for the Oceania series.
Oh, interesting there, Dan, making the move to Nissan from his beloved Holden.
Yeah, well, we as a team, we took the opportunity to try a new manufacturer and stuff as well. So I think it's the car that best suits all 4 drivers, because obviously in the European series we'll have myself and Brett Clark.
Dan, how many laps are going to do in the actual race, mate?
20.
Oh, right,
Changing it now.
right. Yes, well, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Have you found out the problem yet with the lack of horsepower in a straight line?
It doesn't seem to be suffering too much. I mean, we've done some tests at Bathurst and stuff, for example, and yeah, you get up to top speed a lot earlier than the other cars, but I believe it's offset by the handling of the Nissan and how good it is on its tyres and stuff, so that's pretty good.
Okay, so basically, we're going to call Nissan the Red Bull of V8 Supercar, yeah?
Well, as the team owner, I can't comment, but due to with the results that we've had over the last few seasons, yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, and we're going straight to race from the looks of it. Skipped the warm-up session, so on pole we have Dave Kinnaman from 2nd place Brett Clark, 3rd place Dave's teammate Gavin Cox, 4th one of our new drivers Mark Turner, 5th Richard Turner, 6th Danny Donato, 7th Roger Clark, 8th Wayne Dare, 9th Dan Stevens, Matt C in 10th, Norman Clark 11th, Lofty in 12th, Ian Hannon down in 13th, Chris McCall, one of our new Volvo drivers, in 14th, Gavin Worthy in 15th, Dropkick in 16th, Darren Goosey 17th, and Darren Walden 18th, and 19th is Bruce Duncan. So this looks like race 1 is a 20-lap race. Troy, they're on the right lap at the moment.
Yeah, look, it's going to be extremely interesting because a lot of the guys, actually pretty much guaranteed nearly every one of our league drivers here has not had to contend with a field of this size from the start, so it's going to be interesting to see just how it plays out. I mean, we've got a lot of new guys in here, we don't know how they're going to react, but you've got the likes of Dave Kinnaman, Brett Clark and Gavin Cox, the real cream of the crop up front. They'll really show how this race is run and won.
Oh,
it's going to be great to see.
Interesting. Troy's just going to jump in there. It looks like Brett Clark has actually missed the grid up. He's going to have to start from the pit lane.
Oh, that could make for a... oh, Steve, if you want to throw the cat amongst the pigeons, let's throw Brett Clark at the back of the grid with a bunch of new drivers.
I think we've just done that exact same thing. In fact, he's out on the track. He's trying to catch up to the rest of the cars from the looks of it. However, as you know, once the first car's gone past, you cannot pass. It'll be interesting to see if he grids up as normal, because I think he will get a penalty.
It's going to be extremely interesting because, I mean, if he tries and catches them, then he's taken how much out of his tyre, and then a penalty on top of that, it's really going to hurt his race.
Exactly. So here he's coming round, he's joining the back of the field. Where's he going to start from? He's just on camera now. How did he miss the start? He's going to start from pit lane, mate. Safest bet there, Brett. Let the mess get out of the way in front of you and then catch up, hopefully.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's no demeanour towards any of the new guys here. We've never seen them race before, and that's the problem. We haven't seen them race. We don't know what their starts are going to be like. We don't know how they're going to be, whether they're going to have their elbows out through turn 1 and lap 1, and we all know from experience that's not the way to win a race or even to race a race.
Exactly. Okay, here we go. They're on the grid. Grid is set. Dave Kinnaman in pole. Gavin Cox behind him. Mark Turner has got a clear space in front of him. Here we go. And it's green, 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 green. Dave Kinnaman has not moved. Oh, there he goes.
I think
Turner in. Turner from Turner from third position has made a blinding start with the empty space in front of him, is straight up to second, right in front of Gavin Cox. Dave Kinnaman is leading the first few corners.
I dare say this. It looks like Dave just might have done that rookie mistake and forgot to grab the first gear. He has been known to do that in the past.
And we've got a spinner already at the first corner, one of the Volvos.
Them damn Volvo drivers will tell you, Steve, you got to watch out for him.
Turn 6, he's gone wide. Oh no, he's been taken out. Oh, ridiculous. Some bad driving there. He's just got completely wiped out from the car behind him. Let's go back to live. Dave has jumped out to a very nice lead at the moment. And Brett Clark from the pit lane is already up to 15th position, aiming for 14th at the moment. He's got Norman Clark in front of him. That's a bit of a drive of champion right there already.
Just having another look there at that replay, it looks like the 222, the Walkinshaw Racing has made an absolute disastrous idea in trying to take the inside. Either that or Volvo hasn't seen him and turned down on the inside, but realistically the 222 should have backed out of it.
Exactly. Oh, and Brett Clark and Bruce Duncan both into the pits on lap 1. And the Volvo that was spun as well is into the pits.
No surprise in seeing the Volvo in there. He did take a pretty heavy impact. There'd probably be some rear end damage on that car. If not at best probably actually, would be some severe flat spots on those rear tyres.
Interesting to see the Brett Clark car in the pits, unless this is a strategy decision, but I would doubt that after one lap. Oh, it's a yellow flag. Yellow flags. We missed that. It's a full course caution. Full course caution.
Okay, well that makes, obviously that throws any strategy you got out the window. You can, not sure what the fuel burn is around this track today. I haven't had a chance to really play around with it, but I'd say it's probably around the 3 litres per lap. Yeah,
it sounds about right for a street circuit. I'm sure this will help anybody with the fuel burn though anyway on this caution, but it's interesting that Brett felt the need to jump for some tyres straight away. I wonder, did he burn it up a little bit trying to get through?
Look, I thought that might have been the case there, but realistically looking at it, you're looking at 3 litres per lap, a 20 lap race, you're looking at only probably 60 litres to get the race done. These cars holding 75, you can get it done on one tank.
Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you what though, I'm very, very impressed with Dave and his new team. He's in front of his teammate in qualifying, and he's led from the get-go without any issues whatsoever, and was pulling a nice little gap there until the yellow flags have just popped in to back the field back up again. But for a first outing, you can't go much better than that.
Bruce, I need you.
Oh no, that's exactly right. I mean, he's first time out in the new year. He's leading the team boss, so to speak.
Exactly. Good to see. At this point in time, it's looking like a blinding move. So let's do a run through the field then. So we've got Mark Turner in second position. He's made that brilliant start once the second grid position was empty in front of him, and he's got in front of Gavin Cox. He's looking like a good driver for the season as well. He's been right up there in all of the sessions. It's good to see some new talent in here as well.
Oh, definitely, and this is what we were trying to achieve with the new season and the massive launch that we've had here, is to try and get a lot of other guys to come over, sit down, have a race with us, and you never know what you're going to find. I mean, we've had the Brett Clarks, the Gavin Cox, the Rob Herberts really dominate this league, and looking at it now, there's some new cream rising to the top.
Definitely is. You just mentioned our champion there, Rob Herbert, who's taken a well-earned few weeks off, so we'll not see him until a little bit later in the new year. But I think he's going to find it a very different field when he does come back. Oh, and we're going green. So our first safety car start, and Dave has absolutely nailed it straight away. He's on the pace from the go.
Yeah, look, sometimes Dave's restarts under safety car have been a bit questionable, but it seems like he's done a bit of work on that in the off season, and he's really nailed it there.
Exactly, I think the new Ford's given him a bit of confidence as well. We know that Dave's been a bit weak on his starts at times, but it's good to see that he's putting that right in the off season.
Oh, definitely. And look, it'll be really interesting to see how these guys perform when the FGX is finally released. And this is just an FG with an FGX basis, but even the aero is slightly different between the two cars.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if that changes the setups much as well. I know the setups across the cars are completely different this year, as opposed to before. You know, you can bolt the Holden setup on a Ford and you'd get reasonably close, but oh no, and Gavin Cox is taking a spin.
No, it's those cold tyres and restart. They'll bite you every time.
Just getting the replay now. Turn 8. Oh, nightmare. It's the commentator's curse there. Mark in the second position went off at turn 8. Gavin had nowhere to go.
Yeah, look, it's that dreaded turn 8, and even in our real life cousins, we'll call them now, turn 8 has always been one of those turns that you...
Oh, heavy damage. Heavy damage on the number 5 Xbox Falcon. He's just crawling back round to the pits at the moment. The other car has actually been taken out completely.
Oh, look, turn 8 is really
Yellow flag.
Yeah, it has to be. Turn 8 is just one of those corners that if you're slightly offline, even just one tyre width offline, you're meeting that concrete wall, and it's not very nice.
Looks like the yellow flag's been cleared in Sector 3 then, from the looks of things, so it's not going to go full course yellow, which is unfortunate for Gavin.
Just watching that replay, it seems as though Turner's, it was Turner that did it, well, it seems as though he's made the common mistake that everyone makes at turn 8, he's clipped the inside curb there, it's just forced the car wide.
Yeah, once you've hit that inside curb, that's it, it's game over, isn't it?
Oh, very much so. That is one turn. There's one turn that you've really got to watch. It's you got to be in as tight as you can be without going too tight. You need to go too wide. It's a really fine line corner.
Yeah, so interestingly, in second and third now, we've got 2 of our new guys, which is good to see. So we've just got the Red Bull 888 car on screen at the moment of Lofty Fletch. Seems to be running a very nice and steady race. Last lap was a couple of seconds off the pace, though.
Could have been caught up in a little bit of battle, because we all know once you get caught up and you will lose a couple of seconds, maybe even maintain the same pace, but it's very rare you'll see that happen.
Yeah, I think he's probably also had to back off with the accident straight in front of him as well, between Gavin and Mark Turner.
Yeah, definitely. But looking at the delayed coverage here, it seems as though Gavin's continued on and not pitted. He's got no on and drove straight past the pits.
He's now in the pits now. Yeah, he's just pitted. He's just pitted on this lap.
Yeah, that's a damn shame, because he's taken one lap extra than what he needed to, and that's really going to hurt his race.
Yeah, I think he's probably hoping on a full course yellow, to be honest, and stay it out. And then the full course yellow didn't come because they got rid of the Mark Turner car very quickly.
Definitely. But one thing I do have to say is a massive shout out to the guys at FBR. The cars that they've turned out for this new mod are absolutely a step above. And just looking at the Red Bull car, it looks sensational. The Nissans look great. I cannot wait to see the FGXs and the VFs and the Mercs and the Volvos. They've done this sensational job.
Oh, and we've got an overshoot from third position. Lofty Fletch is overshot at turn 6, gone into the escape road. Dan Stevens was putting pressure on him all the way through there, so obviously a little bit of a mistake under pressure.
That'll happen. If you're just watching that rearview mirror a little bit too much, then what's in front of you, you'll make that mistake and overshoot your braking marker.
Yes, we just got a replay here of Ian Hannon getting past as the former third place car of Lofty Fletch is trying to rejoin. He's just reversing out and Ian just goes through nicely. Yeah, so that Lofty Fletch has rejoined in 6th from 3rd. That was a bit unlucky, but that kind of thing happens around this track.
It's the same as any street tracks, Steve. I mean, we've seen it at Homebush, the amount of overshoots only 3 weeks ago. And a street circuit, if you miss that braking marker, there is no room for an error. Sometimes you might be lucky there's an escape road, or sometimes you might not be lucky and there's a concrete wall waiting for you instead. Yeah,
exactly, you're gone. So we just switched down. Brett Clark has made it back up to 10th after that first lap pit stop. So let's see how far up he can make it. He's a little bit behind the car in front. In fact, he's 33 seconds overall behind the leader at this point.
And look, we all know, Brett, it's not over till it's over, but it is a very short race, and there are only short laps around here.
Yeah, exactly, we're just switching back. There's a little bit of a battle pack going on between 4th, 5th and 6th now. 4th, Roger Clark, 5th, Ian Hannon, and 6th, Lofty, who's trying to catch back up the ground he lost previously with that overshoot at turn 6.
And that seems to be the really good thing that this new release has brought along, is we're going to have battle groups throughout the whole pack. Not just having 2 guys up the front and maybe 2 guys down the back and the rest of them have got 10-second gaps. It seems to be that everyone's within 2, 3, most I think the gap you get in between cars is half a second. And that's what you want to see for some really good racing.
Yeah, exactly, that's what we want. I'm impressed with Lofty as one of our new drivers as well. He seems to be on the pace, although he's hanging it out a little bit at the moment, trying to catch back up. Doesn't want to use up that tyre too much. Ian's a wily fox, as we know. You're not getting past him without a good fight.
And that's the thing, being a new driver to the mod, and a lot of the guys, probably not, maybe the newer guys not spending as much time with testing, are going to realise that these tyres do burn up very, very quickly, and once you've burnt them up, you cannot bring them back. I've found that once in testing, once these tyres have gone off and you've overheated them too long, they're not coming back and they're very impossible to get back.
Exactly, yeah. And at the back end of last season we talked about Roger Clark, and sometimes he's on the pace, sometimes he doesn't. It's looking like he's put that right in the off season. He's right up there in 4th position, running some good laps as well.
Yes, definitely, and that's one person I did make mention of with Roger, especially. He's definitely found that thing he was missing, whether it's the introduction of his dad joining him in the league or not, don't know what it is, but he just seems to, if he can just find that consistency, it's not so much the pace, we know he's got it, he's got raw pace, just get some consistency, Roger, and you'll be up the front all day long.
Yeah, exactly, we've got a bit of a yellow flag in Sector 3 at the moment. Oh, it's turn 8 again for the looks of it.
The infamous turn 8, Steve. We will be talking about that.
Oh no, oh, what was that? That's Gavin Cox is cleaning up some positions again, coming back up through the field. He's coming down to turn 9, down the inside of one of the DJR cars, which didn't give him any room from the looks of it. But he's through now.
Just doesn't seem like it's Gavin's weekend, does it?
Yeah, mate, when it's not your weekend, it's not your weekend, hey. Better now though than in the actual first round.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, we're only probably, what, 3 weeks away? I think it's 4 weeks from today.
Exactly, yeah. And we've got Brett Clark has made another pit stop, and he's now in the pits again. It's interesting. I hope there's no problems with the new Nissan.
Oh, I think they usually suffer a bit of oiling problems, so I think you might find he's blown an oil line somewhere, and the motor's kaput. It's a Nissan after all.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting that we got our new cars for the team, and Brett's had to make 3 stops. There'll be a bit of a debrief after the race, see what's going on there.
Yes, it's something I definitely wouldn't mind being a fly on the wall for, because I mean, Brett was in his supposedly ever reliable Falcon. No one ever knows that to be true, but steps into this and 3 pit stops in a 20-lap race. It's definitely something that's going to have to be questioned.
Yeah, it's also when you get down the field as well. You sometimes tend to overdrive it. I know I do a bit trying to get back up, so there's a bit of potential for taking the tire off it a little bit quicker than normal.
Oh, there's definitely that. And one thing with these cars that have been released, they're very sensitive to temperature too, and they're getting very severe temperatures. Like you'll be constantly up around the 95, 100 degree mark on your water, and that's where you don't want to be.
Yeah, interesting to see. It looks like Roger in fourth is coming up on his teammate to lap him. Dan Stevens is closing down rapidly. And Ian Hannon is coming along with him for the ride as well, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in a minute or two, but I guarantee you we'll have some action on track very shortly between these three.
Yeah, and it's great to see Norm out there having a go. He's back. He's starting basically where Roger was last year, and he's the guy that everyone's lapping and overtaking. And look, if you can spend the time with Roger and they can get themselves together to get an understanding of the cars and the way they're reacting and what they want and everything like that, I think you'll find that these two drivers will drive very well together.
Oh, and Dan Stevens has just got through on Roger Clark.
Yeah, look, Dan, as a driver, his racecraft is brilliant. You know, he really knows how to set the position.
And we've also lost second position there as well.
Who did we have in second?
Richard Turner. Let's take a look at the replay. Yeah, he's just the back looks very loose on this Techno car. He's just coming up to lap Norman Clark from the looks of it. Brett Clark rejoins from the pits, right in front of him. And here we go, we're heading down to the dreaded turn 6. Does he overshoot? Nothing yet.
Yeah, just pushing it there. Definitely in the final turn onto the main straight. The thing was dancing better than first air.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what's happened here just as he's coming down.
The car doesn't look happy in the rear. I think he might have a bit too much rear bias or not enough rear wing or even too much rear anti-roll bar.
Yeah, here he goes. Yeah, not sure exactly what happened there. We're back to Roger Clark, who's made a pit stop. Richard Turner is now back up to 4th position. Dan Stevens is in the pits right this second. So that's interesting. We've got 6 laps left in the race, and some of the leading drivers are feeling the need to make a stop.
Well, obviously tyre dig on this track's a lot harder than what we thought. I mean, I personally would have thought 20 laps, no stops, to be perfectly honest with you, Steve. I thought a hard tyre could have made it through a full tank.
Well, I'll tell you what, I would be very stressed, and I am as the team owner of SRT right now, that Dave Kinnaman is in 1st position, has just ran 6/10 short of his fastest lap, and has not pitted.
And we're on lap 13 now, aren't we, Steve?
Exactly. Dave is looking very, very fast, to say the least.
Obviously, the move over to 555 has been a very beneficial one for Dave, and I do hear there are rumours that Team DSA, Drift School Australia, are looking to have words with Dave.
Oh, interesting.
It's obviously been something that's hugely beneficial to him, because after 13 laps on what we would presume would be controlled tyres, to still be only 6/10 off your best, it shows that the car's set up very nicely to handle its tyres, but still be quick at the same time.
The one thing I do notice with the 55 car of Dave is his lap speed, top speed, is consistently 3 or 4 kilometers an hour faster than anyone else's. So he's obviously running less wing and still keeping the tyre on the car.
Well, it could be a case of he's running less when he's just getting that 3 or 4k better exit, or it could be he's lying, he's able to come out of the corner and get on the throttle a lot sooner, which gives you that extra couple of k's down the back straight.
Well, from the looks of the timing, there's a 7-second gap to second position, so if Dave did need to take a pit stop, he's going to come out there thereabouts. Oh, and we've got an accident on track.
Possibility of a yellow flag here, so this could be the time that Dave, if he's going to even contemplate making the stop, now's the time to do it. It really is.
Yeah, we've just cleared the yellow there. The DJR car's just spun around and is back on track. I think that was our former second place driver, just getting a little bit involved in that. He's lost a couple of positions again. Be interesting to see if he makes it back up. He's right up behind Roger Clark now. Both cars have made a pit stop, so be on fresh tyres. So it'll be nice to see how this battle turns out.
Yes, definitely. And just looking at the replay there, it definitely was the Technocar in the back of the DJR, coming out of there out of turn 10. They just got a little bit close and he sort of slid a little bit. The Technocar stuck it up the inside and just kept pushing him right now.
Yeah, it's the usual thing that comes with experience of knowing the racers around you and stuff. The DJR car was a little bit up due to the pit stop, so potentially, and on older tyres, so he might have needed to back off a little bit there to give it a chance.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It does come down to knowing who you're racing and the standard of the guy that you're about to pass or drive with. And with a lot of new guys on track, we're gonna see a lot of these messy incidents, I guess you call them, due to no one knowing anyone.
Well, that's true. Yeah, it's that's why we do the pre-season testing such as this, to try and get everybody on track at the same time, so they get a chance when the season kicks off to know who they're racing and get a feel for everything on the track.
Oh, definitely, and it's going to be a great benefit for a lot of these new guys. I know when I first joined the league just over 12 months ago now, coming into the league, you had guys like Brett Clark and Reese Morris, which no one seems to know where he's at the moment. He's a fantastic driver. You just didn't know how to put yourself on track when they were coming up to lap you, and this is something that a lot of these guys are going to need to be aware of, to look in their mirrors and just know that these guys are good and they can make a clean pass as long as you hold your line and don't try and jump around.
Yeah, exactly, Troy. It's all about getting the feel for having real drivers around you as well. You've got to have that little bit of extra skill and awareness of what's going on and what somebody's likely to do to be able to have a successful event.
Oh, definitely. And look, I'll put my hand up and I'll be the first to say that, yeah, I've probably stuffed a few races for Reese and Brett throughout that first season of mine. But it was just inexperience. It really was. And hopefully a lot of these newer guys get up to speed quick and realise...
Roger Clark has just gone off at turn 13, straight into the Nissan sign head on. He's taking the front splitter off the car and is doing more damage to it. That is really unfortunate, but easy to get caught out there on the brakes. That's unfortunate. That was from 4th position or 3rd position at the time.
The enigma that is Roger Clark.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, and he's not going to make it into the pits. Oh, he's understeered off. That's a bit of a messy few corners there for Roger, unfortunately. We've got a yellow in sector 1 and 3 at the moment.
That's the thing with Roger. He's very much a rhythm driver. Once his rhythm's broken, that's it. It's all over for him. He just make mistake after mistake after mistake. And it's nothing against Roger. It's totally understandable. I'm the same. Once my rhythm's broken, I'll start making mistake after mistake as well. And it really is something you need to be in your rhythm, in the zone, and just let everything flow naturally. Once you start trying to push the cars, they bite you.
Yeah, you start overdriving, car's going to bite back. So, just on screen now, we've got the 55 serenely making its way towards the end of the race in first position. He's got a 48-second lead over second position.
I'll tell you what, I think Dave will be having quite sweaty palms at the moment. I think this will be his first race win in a supercar.
I think you're right, actually. Yeah, this would be his first win. I don't think there's a better way to win than that. Pole, lead all the laps, and not make a stop when everyone else had to.
Dave is going to be something to watch this season because he's really, that car setup, it's worked. It really has. It's looked after its tyres, it's been racy, and there's the win to prove it.
Absolutely. It's just moving back through the field. Check where our European champion is, down in 12th, Brett Clark, fighting with Norman Clark. Norman's missing the front splitter. It's also worth noting that Norman is our global touring car champion of this season as well, so he's no slouch behind the wheel.
No, he's not, and that's the thing with these cars. They are very, very tricky to drive. You've got to be spot on, you've got to be gentle, but you've got to be hard at the same time. They're so unique to drive.
Absolutely. It's about time we got a Volvo on screen. We've got Chris McCall from Jandal Racing. He's the only team car to show up to today's testing event. Volvo just looks amazing out on track, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, that was one thing I was impressed in real life as well, just to see what the Volvos looked like out on track. And in saying that too, I was actually recently at the Homebush event, and the different sounds of the engines too, and that's something FBR have captured here too. The Volvo is a very tinny sound with the V8, but it's still quite a nice V8 sound.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very raspy, and you can just hear it on track now as well as it comes past. Unfortunately, Chris is down in 12th. I think he had that incident at the first lap where he got taken out by the Dumbrell car.
I don't think it's just that, Steve. I think the Jandal is getting in the way. He's just missing his brake and accelerator and missing it up with the Jandal pedal.
He's caught under the accelerator, is it?
I've heard rumours of that happening.
Excellent. So, from the looks of things, first position going into the last few laps is Dave Kinnaman. He's now got it up to a 1 minute 15 second lead gap. He is 5 seconds from lapping the field. How is that, mate?
Oh, that is dead set incredible. I tell you what, Dave Kinnaman, my hat is off to you, son. He has driven an amazing race. And look, we have known Dave. He can be a bit Roger Clark-like in the fact that if he makes a mistake, it's usually very costly. But tonight, we've seen him just drive clean and keep the car straight, and that's what you need to do to win a race.
Well, exactly. Just watching him on track as he was disappearing into turn 8, you can see the number 5 Pepsi Max car in second position just entering turn 9, so there is a possibility that he could lap the whole field by the end of this race.
That's incredible. I mean, we're used to having at least 2 guys at the front that are on each other's bumper, but to have one guy, one car, just a full lap ahead of the whole field. Now, either this mod is extremely well suited to Dave and his driving style, but in saying that, I have heard Dave has spent a lot of money on his rig over the off-season.
Yeah, exactly, but I think the talent has to come into it as well, Troy. The guy is putting it on display today. This is obviously what he needed to unlock his potential. We've never had anybody lap the whole field before, and to our new viewers or whatever, this is far from normal, to say the least.
I mean, it's brilliant to watch.
We have in the other driver's defence, we have had issues with the second position car on the grid not making the start. We've had his teammate Gavin Cox getting in somebody else's accident. Mark Turner, who took the turn 8 all on the inside and cost himself second position, and Gavin as well at that point. So there has been a few issues, but man, you've got to give it to Dave. This is just a phenomenal drive.
I'll stop you there, Steve. I'm starting to see a bit of a trend here. Is the second position cursed at this track?
Yeah, does nobody want it? I will say though, Wayne Dare in the 5 Pepsi Max car, since he's got up to second, he has held it and is driving beautifully as well.
Okay, maybe he might break the voodoo, but it just seems to be that they're living by the old adage that no one remembers second place, so you know, well, I'll just mistake it.
We don't need it then, pass, yeah. Interesting to see Dave's dropped his pace off by a second a lap at the moment, so I would think the tyres are starting to need a little bit of loving, and it's the last lap as well.
That's an incredible stint. It really is. If he's gone that far and he's been able to nurse the tyres, well, I don't know if he's been nursing it to be able to be almost lapping the field, but that car is obviously looking after its tyres exceptionally well. It really is.
Exactly. I think the nut behind the wheel is finally tightened up, eh?
Definitely, definitely. I mean, we all know Dave's been renowned for that turn one cold brakes hot head moment. Obviously, starting on pole really helped him today.
Oh, well, absolutely, yeah. He was cleared off from the start, and I think that's the last anyone's seen of that Shell Helix car at the moment. And here
I
we
think
go,
the only
we're coming round the turn 13, heading towards now, into the turn 14 hairpin, and onto the start-finish straight for the 55 Shell Helix 555 racing car of Dave Kinnaman to collect his first ever V8 Supercar win. And there we go.
Now, yeah, big congratulations to Dave there. And I mean, I think the only people that know what the front of that car look like are you and me, Steve.
Exactly. I'm just checking out second position. He's got almost a full lap to go to complete. That is amazing stat.
Tell you what, Dave can go down, rip as many burnouts as he wants, pit the tyres off the rims, come back, change tyres, and still have enough time to rip another burnout by the sounds of it.
Well, he's doing his best to destroy that Falcon at the minute. If you look, he's stuck on the turn one chicane.
He's got to be careful, he'll blow that motor.
Yeah, don't destroy the car. You're going to need it for the rest of the year. If I had that car, I would now be putting it in cotton wool, locking it away, and nobody else can look at it until the next round.
I'd be putting it on the trailer. It would not be touching a nut, not touching a bolt. The dampers can stay where they are. I'd be lock and key that thing, and you can see it next race.
Excellent. And here is second place, one of our new guys, Wayne Dare, coming round, heading into the turn 14 hairpin, and onto the start finish straight. The guy's showing a bit of class. He's sticking the back out as well. A bit of Shane Van Gisbergen in there.
Well, you can call it Van Gisbergen, you can call it Craig Lowndes, you can call it virtually half of the field now since the gears started doing drifting.
Exactly, that was the only car that was not lapped. Second position was the only unlapped car, mate. How is that for a race?
When you've got one car on lead lap of a 20 lap race too, mind you, not a 50, not a 60, a 20 lap race, it just shows how far ahead of the pack Dave really was.
Okay, let's get Dave down for a post-race interview. If you could find the other two drivers, Troy, that would be great.
User was moved to your channel.
Dave Kinnaman, well done.
Hi Steve, how are you doing?
Well, not as well as you, obviously, mate.
Something about these cars, it's clicking for me, mate.
Something, I'll say. You almost lapped the entire field.
Yeah, I don't think I'll see the likes of that again this season, but I'll take the confidence
Steve.
boost.
Hopefully not for the rest of the viewers. Just hang fire 1 second, Dave. Done.
No problem.
Doing another race, mate.
Okay, mate. I'm just doing the interviews.
Yeah, Dave, mate, no stops there in that race for you, was it?
Yeah, no problems. Managed to do the tyres pretty well. I think I ended with pretty high high wear on the rears, but the fronts were fine.
What kind of wear rate were you seeing on that car?
The fronts, I think I ended with about 60 or 50 something percent. On the rears, I was down to about high 20s on the rear left and high 30s on the rear right. Rear left, I was just a little bit too greedy with the throttle on occasion, so that wears all down to my right foot.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
obviously
they
you
both
find
did.
a lot through turn 8 there. It's a very high ear-loading corner as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Towards the end of the race, I was actually coasting around there pretty smoothly, seeing as I had the gap, just to make sure that I didn't make any mistakes or go into the wall there.
Well done, Dave. Congratulations. I believe that's your first V8 Supercar win, isn't it?
Second, I won Pukekohe last year. In
That's right.
seasons, but every win's a win, mate. Doesn't matter if it's pre-season. I'll take the confidence.
Well done, mate. Very impressed. Congratulations. And back for another race, I believe.
Yep, I reckon I'll stick around and do another one.
Excellent. We'll speak to you soon. Cheers, mate.
I think you'd be crazy not to.
Cheers. Cheers, mate.
User was moved out of your
Well,
channel.
Troy, second and third look like they've dropped off. the server and conversation, so that's a bit unfortunate. We didn't get a chance to have a chat with him, but well, that's I got some questions for other teams there. We're going to have to work out as to what happened to the race there from Dave.
Oh, look, it's definitely going to raise a lot of questions with a lot of teams in the debrief meetings, because you're going to have to ask yourself, how can one car, because Dave ended, I think, with something like 60% left on his front tyres and 20 and 30 on each side of his rears. How can one car do a complete race on one set of tyres, but everyone else needed to stop? So it's obviously something the guys are going to have to look at with either the way they're driving, or even the way that the car's set up. It could be just that little bit too stiff, and it's just burning out those tyres.
Okay, that's stunning. That's race 1 done. So stick with us. We'll be back in 5 minutes for race 2.